Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another awesome episode of the Elijah Sisters podcast. We are so excited to have you with us here for another wonderful edition, and we're excited to review another phenomenal movie tonight, which is The School for Good and Evil. A little different for us, little departure from what we normally review, but let me tell you, this movie was even better than I thought it would be. And I am for all things Kerry Washington and Lawrence Fishburne. So
I love me Charlize too now.
Of course. But we're for the Black Power, of course. But it thoroughly surprised me, and so I know that it is going to be a phenomenal review. And then, of course, we'll get into it later. But I'm going to just say the music was amazing. We'll definitely talk about that later. So tonight's going to be a fun show, and I was looking at the calendar today. Today is December the 16th. We are halfway through the month of December.
No, because they just said when we have to have our next schedule in for work, and I looked at the dates and I was like, we already at this point. I was like, okay.
It is 15 days and we are done.
I was like, it seems like we just got here, like to December 1st. Like, okay.
I'm not ready. So ridiculously fast. I was thinking earlier today, I remember being a kid and it seemed like it took forever to get to summer. Well, number one, my birthday's in April, so it feel like it took forever to get to the springtime. It's needed to get to my birthday. That's the first goal. And then it took forever to get to summertime. And then when I was a kid, it seemed like summer was forever. Now it seems like you blink and kids are back in school. When you're a parent, it's really not fun. It's like these kids just got out of school, and then before you know it, they're already talking about Christmas presents, and it's like, gosh, didn't we just cross that bridge? And so I'm like, gosh, it's like we were just celebrating the New Year. And we're already back around again at the end of the year. The years go by. I know that the years are speeding up we won't talk about how long ago that I was
from 10 years ago.
I'm going to review this in just a few minutes, but I was watching the 30th anniversary of Beauty and the Beast, and just them saying it was very offensive to me.
When did Beauty and the Beast come out?
Like 30 years ago, darling. Right. I didn't appreciate.
No, because that tells me how old I was when it came out. Oh no.
And they're not lying. It was 30 years ago. So I'm just like, oh my gosh. I was 14 when that came out.
Yeah, that tells me exactly. The math is mathing. Know how old I was then? If you was 14.
I was so in love with that movie when it came out. And I think even more than the movie, because I was at that age when I was not quite as into the Disney stuff. I was kind of transitioning out of the Disney stuff. But the 90s was when Disney was really starting to change and dominate, and the soundtracks were everything. And I was so in love with that soundtrack. And and that was coming off the heels of A Whole New World too. We just come off of that was like Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast. It was like everything. Those 2 years back.
Is that when they I'm trying to think. Is that the era they called it? The Disney Renaissance, I believe.
Yeah, that was the Disney Renaissance. And so Celine was killing it.
My God, she was getting bank. She was in everything.
Okay, and she needed to be. We were letting her do that. So I'll talk about the TV show in just a moment. But just hearing that number, 30th anniversary, was a little, it was quite unsettling. seeing.
Yeah, because like I've been seeing stuff that's like 20-year anniversary and stuff of certain things lately, and I've been like,
yeah, they're rolling those 20, 25, 30.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh no, oh no, I didn't know I was.
Continue to do this.
Y'all can stop. Y'all don't have to do anniversaries for nothing no more. I'm good.
We're officially at that point in our life where those numbers apply. And
yeah.
So, let it be.
I would it's all I can say is I'm proud I made it to the age I am and I'm still alive. Praise the Lord. Otherwise, depressing.
Not always celebratory. So there's quite a few television shows and some reboots coming out. So there's some cool things to discuss. So did you know, sisters, that there is a Night Court revival?
I saw that.
I'm nervous.
Literally midway. I'm actually excited. I know reboot Grinch, but I am excited about it.
Did you see the trailer?
I did, and I'm excited. God knows, rest in peace to Harry Anderson. He would have been perfect to come back, but he passed some years ago. But because John Larroquette is going to be in it,
okay,
that's the only thing
it is. I am all for it. But again, when we're talking about the eras and the ages, I definitely was a fan of Night Court, and I actually have been watching it on Freevee lately and finding all of my nostalgia. So I thought it was ironic that I saw that. And
I like Freevee. I didn't notice it was on there, but I'm gonna check that out.
I think I downloaded Freevee. I think I downloaded Freevee, but I haven't like watched anything on it yet. I just saw it was free stuff and let me download it, and I just haven't got back to it.
Everything is on Freevee. All of our childhood is on Freevee.
See, well, I've been getting my childhood watching. I've been rewatching Boy Meets World, and I'm already on season 3, and I'm just like, I forgot how much I love this show. Like I forgot how much I love this show.
Right, to rewatch it. I'm gonna tell you, I know I can't watch the first couple seasons. It's too young for me.
Boy Meets World. It is. Rewatching it.
I gotta kind of go midway through.
Like by late season 2 to season 3, I'm a little bit more.
And his brothers were on there.
I feel like
no, not yet. They haven't got to that point.
The oldest brother character was rewritten. And when
Eric,
you clearly can tell Eric was rewritten and he got funnier, which is probably around season 3 or 4.
It was 3. I can tell you right now, it was 3.
That's when it was good to me. But them first couple seasons, I was like,
well, because I was watching a guy that did a deep dive on it, and he was like, the earlier seasons they were trying to write him as like the hot, sexy older brother. No. Because
corny brother.
Will, the actor that plays it, Will, is just naturally funny. He really wasn't meshing with what they were trying to write him as. Mm-hmm. Like just to be kind of like, the pushy older brother who gets a lot of girls, but it really never really meshed with like what they wrote and what they were trying to write him as. So like by the time I got to season 3, they was like, okay, no, he's attractive, he's dumb as mud. He has a good heart, and he's funny.
Perfect.
And he's funny. And that's Eric. Like if you boil those down, he doesn't have a problem getting girls. He has a problem keeping them because he's dumb. Then all the other stuff is just like, okay, that's when they got to that point. Because early on it was just like stuff would be off. It kept like clanging with his character. Like no, that's not it either. Because they even with Sean, it was like they just were finding. Yeah. They were finding where they were. But I'm like, I forgot how hilarious Feeny was. Because Feeny had me crying laughing.
I think they were in some ways trying to make it too close to Wonder Years too. And because of the Savage Brothers. And you kind of have to because
let
they're
Ben
both
be Ben.
funny, but they're different.
Yeah, let Ben be Ben.
Find their own voices too.
Yeah, don't.
But you'll find so much joy in Freevee. But back to the Night Court revival.
We'll be awesome.
It does premiere on January the 17th, so it is merely weeks away.
Oh, a month away.
It's coming, and it will be on NBC. Some call it the new version of Reboot, but starring executive producer Melissa Rauch revealed that she calls it a new boot because it is not quite a reboot. It's more of a revisioning. She's from, if you don't remember, she was Abby Stone from Big Bang Theory. And she plays the daughter of Judge Harry Stone, who was the late Harry Anderson. So I think that's cool, a cool revisioning.
She plays who?
She plays his daughter, Judge Harry Stone.
Oh, that's cute.
I like that because you can't write him out.
Yeah. So she comes back and she brings John Larroquette back to court. And that's kind of how the show goes. And what I didn't know was that John actually won 4 Emmy Awards for the character of Prosecutor Dan Fielding during the
I can see that though.
He was very good.
A good part of it.
Because he was like one of my favorite characters on there, so I can see that. Oh, yeah.
So the show will premiere Tuesday, January 17th at 8 p.m. on NBC. And I'm actually excited about it.
Okay.
Speaking of spin-offs and reboots, are you ready?
I don't know.
Frasier will be returning in a reboot.
How? Because Frasier, how?
Well, of course, we know we also lost the father a couple years ago, but they are stating that it is going to be in a new city with new characters, but we are
new city.
They are saying that most of the original characters do plan to make appearances. They're not stating if some of them will be long-term or just making cameos. I do hope. I believe, because I've heard off and on over the years, and most of them were very much interested in returning. And God knows Lilith has said, BB Newworth, she is always down to do Lilith. I think they could make it.
Yeah.
But my personal opinion is that is one show that doesn't need a reboot. I think that is
freaking off.
Like a special reunion show that would have been for one night. And we would have been good. But because I'm such a Frasier fan, I will still tune in.
Like, I don't want to write it off because I try not to be that kind of person.
I personally didn't think Will and Grace needed to be rebooted.
And they did shock me.
They blew me away. So, it could surprise me. Because Kelsey Grammer has the stuff. If anybody could do it, Kelsey has the stuff to do it. And he's staying on as executive producer.
Okay, so I trust him being the executive producer. I trust because I don't think he'll let it get that far away from what people knew. Because I don't. I'm nervous.
Fingers crossed.
Because when we read,
we saw you meet though.
Yeah,
I think him staying at the helm.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Him sitting at the helm, and I believe the other producers and writers are. The person who's involved with how you met your father,
how you met your mother.
Yeah.
It sounds like how you met your father.
Whatever it is, I don't watch the show.
How I met her.
How your uncle met your cousin. I don't know.
How we got together. The first time I saw you.
I was like, hey, sup, that one.
Who's your people? What's up? I do know that that's a winning show, and so this is Kelsey Grammer, and
I trust him.
What it takes as an executive producer, he's had his hands not just in his own shows, but in other winning shows such as Girlfriends and other shows that have had enduring power over the years. So I believe. And it's only and they've already signed it on for a whole season. So Paramount Plus has backed it, and so I definitely believe
I want to check it out. I do want to. I want to give it a chance.
Lilith, that would be cool.
I want to give it a chance.
We'll see.
She's such a mystery.
So speaking of spinoffs and reboots, there's another spinoff coming. Are y'all ready?
I don't know now.
No.
Well, if you loved WandaVision, there's a spinoff coming with Agatha.
It was Agatha all along!
Yes.
Yes.
Agatha
Thank you.
is called Agatha Coven of Chaos, and they actually just started filming this month, so we will have to wait about another year until it comes to Disney Plus.
I'll wait.
That is
all right. I'm all right.
It's all right. I'll wait.
I just watch WandaVision again. That's fine.
Really?
Nothing wrong with that.
I gotta still watch the most recent movie with what's his name, with the doctor with the.
Me too.
So I'll probably watch the series and that again before it come out, so I'll just be refreshed.
Catherine Hahn, who played Agatha, is headed back to Disney Plus on the upcoming WandaVision spinoff series entitled Agatha Coven of Chaos. After making her standout Marvel Cinematic Universe debut in the Disney Plus series WandaVision, she's excited to do this spinoff series. Originally introduced as Wanda Maximoff, Elizabeth Olsen, and Vision's Paul Bettany. Gosh, they played the heck out of those characters. Nosy neighbor
and he is one of my favorite actors, even though I forget his name. But when I see him and stuff, I'm like, I know his face. He's great.
Yeah. Agatha later revealed her true identity as a witch, as old as Salem witch trials.
Yep.
Sensing Wanda's strong abilities, Agatha arrived in the town of Westview, New Jersey, to steal her power in order to prevent her from becoming the powerful entity known as the Scarlet Witch. Other people
you can't stop the Scarlet Witch!
Cast, along with Catherine, is actress Emma Caulfield, who will also reprise her WandaVision role as Dottie. Sarah Proctor. Other announced cast members include Sasheer Zamata, who was on SNL, Ali An, and Maria Dizia. Their roles have not yet been announced. This will premiere next year. I know, I'm so excited for her. She can do anything. And as I said, it will premiere in about a year. So we'll just sit tight until it happens. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'll wait. Because
I'll wait patiently.
Exactly, because I don't care what nobody says. I love the first season, so I'll wait for a spinoff. Because Agatha was amazing. I loved her character.
I will wait.
As I mentioned earlier, there was the 30th anniversary of Beauty and the Beast, which was a live TV special which aired last night.
Okay.
And it is now able to be viewed on Disney Plus, and I saw it on Hulu.
Yes.
And
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Let me tell you. First of all, as I said with Angelique earlier, had a lot of issues with it being the 30th anniversary because that aged me much more than I needed to be.
Exactly. When you said you was 14, I was like, oh,
but
I don't know what I was.
Moving past that, what I loved about it was that it is a mixture of the animated movie, it's live in portions, and it has behind the scenes information. I really wish they had done that with some of the other live adaptations. I thought it was best done that way because they only did live presentations of the most loved pieces and parts of the movie, and everything else was the actual animated movie that we love. And and also for me, I thought as a person who does productions, I just got an idea. This would save me some time in the production, and we could go ahead and pre-record half this show.
Right.
Put my dancers on the show for half the time. I was like, note to self. So,
I'm about to check it out because I think I see what you're talking about. But yeah.
I know they did that. I saw that they did that with the Little Mermaid when Queen Latifah was the
Ursula.
She was Ursula. They did
far more with this though, and it blended. And let me tell you, first of all, let me tell you everybody that's in it. It stars her as Belle. She was
okay.
amazing.
Sorry, my mind was like, who? Her? My mind said, her who?
I like her, and I'll say this: I like her. I think she's amazing, but she so impressed me. She showed a different side to herself. Number one, she had to take the glasses off.
You can't do both.
Stop hiding. Okay.
And I mean, she's normally neo soul, right? So she had to show a different side of her tone. It's just her singing ability, and I heard her voice in a different way, and it was just so.
I can't wait to see it.
I'm probably gonna put it on as soon as we get off.
Because all I heard was her. I'm sorry. All I heard was her and David Allen Greer, and I was like, I'm there.
Oh, I didn't hear no other names.
It also stars Josh Groban, and God knows I adore Josh.
Yeah,
Groban.
I thought that was gonna be weird though, but then I was like, well, it's Beauty and the Beast, because like Josh Groban is so much old. Because I was like, this is my mom mind.
But he plays the Beast. But he plays the Beast.
Yeah.
Not the Beast when he's the man. And it's Josh Groban.
Yeah. But the first thing I thought was like Aladdin when the father
yeah.
But he's so old.
No, it's perfect the way they have him. And he only does he's only doing the live portions. He's only on stage twice.
Okay.
Martin Short, and I mean, who does
so now I'm understanding why they had Martin Short on SNL.
About Shania.
Now I know why Martin Short. Okay, he's doing something. Okay.
Yeah, Rita Moreno is the narrator. Joshua Henry as Gaston. David Allen Greer as Cogsworth. Rizwan Manji as LeFou. John Briones as Maurice, and Leo. I'm gonna mess this boy's name up. Leo Abelo Perry as Chip. It's an amazing. Let me tell you, Rita Moreno does an amazing job as a narrator, and I love Rita. And Rita could read me the phone book, and I would love
really.
I mean, we definitely miss Angela Lansbury, and I thought about her. And I thought, gosh, if you just would have held on, Angela.
Wait a minute, Angela. Dang, where you trying to be so fast?
She said, "I'm ready to go."
She had been Miss Potts for long. She had been Miss Potts for 30 years. Yes. But it's so beautiful. But let me tell you, and I know we're all a family that doesn't like spoilers. I'm gonna just tell you this one tiny little thing that you won't mind. So when we talk about her, when they sing Beauty and the Beast at the end, and she sings it so amazing. When the song is ending, she leaves the stage, and it's very climactic at the end of Beauty and the Beast when it's the climax. And so I'm like, is she gonna do some choreography? This girl comes back down the stage playing a guitar riff like Prince. And I was like, they let her be her. I was too done. And that's
cool. I will be watching it tonight.
She has on the yellow ball gown, and she has on yellow glasses. And I was like, they let her in the show as herself. That was perfect for me.
Wow, that's cool.
They said, we know who we hired.
I mean, I've heard her play, but she's
amazing.
Like Prince in that moment, that even made me so proud. This is a Black woman. I was so proud of her, and I just thought how many little brown girls need that 10, 15 seconds to just see her be authentically herself. And I was so proud of John Chu, because John Chu directed it.
Okay.
And I was just so proud of him in just that moment of just letting her be her. You know.
Wait, I'll make sure I'm thinking about the same guy. Isn't that the guy with the LXD? Is that the guy?
Yes.
Okay. Well, no wonder it's so awesome. Because I love the LXD. Okay.
There are some just dance choreography scenes in it that will make you think LXD.
Okay. Well, because that's the name. That's what I connect his name. Like John Trump. Like wait, John Trump. Oh, LXD. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
There's some scenes that's just live choreography. They're not big, but you will definitely think.
Oh. Because I have rewatched LXD, and if nobody has seen it, I might share it to our socials so y'all can look at it. LXD is amazing. That is like if you love the actual dance.
I remember going down one of the proverbial YouTube rabbit holes that is so easy to do.
Years ago, yeah.
Finding it one night and literally staying up till like 6 o'clock in the morning.
And I still share that to people that like dance. Like I still share videos and talk about. I'm like, it's so man, don't get me started on LXD because that I will
girl. And when I first saw Mad Chad, I was just like, he's not real.
He's not.
He's not.
He's so not.
Now his child dances like him.
Yes. Like he is, oh my gosh. Like it's so amazing. Like it's so amazing. Oh,
I've seen animators, but I've never seen anybody like Chad.
No.
Nobody like him. But no, we cannot. We have to do a whole show.
No, because then that'll take me down to so many other rabbit holes. But no, because we can loop it around because he was in the Step Up movies. So.
And yeah, but we'll have to do something else on that. I hope.
But I'll say loop it around too. The other thing we got to talk about tonight.
Yeah, we'll loop it. So while we're talking about television and things to watch, I will say this. So the show that we are reviewing tonight is currently on Netflix. And since Netflix was on last night, I went ahead because I just was too lazy and couldn't find my remote, so I just let the Meghan and Harry docuseries play because again I was lazy. Let me tell you, I am actually glad that I watched it. I really am. And I don't want to say a lot about it, but I will say there's been a lot, I think in the last year, a lot of different adaptations of movies and other documentaries. This is strictly their words. So much documentation, video diaries from when they first met up until this year, actually. And just pushing pause on that, can I tell you, I felt so bad. For probably the last 5 years, I have been saying I wanted to do a video diary of my life. And I was just like, they just made me feel so bad. They just made me feel like, well, there's 5 years of my life that I can't get them back.
Just start next. You got a month to get yourself ready.
It's a total amazing story of my life. And some things are not. It's just you could just take a couple minutes here and there and be recording things.
Yeah.
I just watched. It's a docuseries coming out about me.
Boom.
But anyway, I don't appreciate that that you just did, Angelique. No.
I said, boom. Thank you very much.
Okay.
See, you heard stuff I didn't say. You heard stuff I didn't say.
Okay. But I honestly, actually, since I was first diagnosed with cancer, and that was around the same time that we were also doing PDCAT, that had been on my mind so many times, and I think
you could do an amazing one. I think you could do an
I really
amazing
do.
one.
And
just do a couple catch up in December. Do a couple catch up journal entries, and then January 1st bust out with the first start doing your whole year.
The last 7 years.
So let me tell you what you missed. And then January 1st start fresh. I would
one video, but it's really just
you sure knows that I would. I surely would. I surely would do some catch up episodes in December.
But anyway, I will say this: anything is the best when it's somebody's own words, and this was totally their own words. And I do know that a lot of things look like them probably whining and crying or poor us or you don't understand. But when it's strictly just a person able to talk, and tell your side of the story, I gained a lot more respect for them. I had a lot more empathy for them. And so some things I also just didn't know. And so, I really felt more for Meghan, but I also felt more for Harry, actually, after watching it.
He seemed like a very quiet person.
He is, and I actually totally understood because it's 6 episodes, I understood. She made a statement toward the end of it, and she said this: he was always going to be this person. They just didn't understand that. And I got that. And she said they needed somebody to blame. I just became the person to blame. And, know what it feels like to be in a family where you're not loved or respected, or accepted. Yeah. I know what that feels like, and I definitely know we're near on the level that she went through. Anything.
No, because literally a whole country hates her and acts like it's not for the reason they don't.
But not being accepted is not being accepted, and not being loved is not being loved. And so I just know what that feels like when you're trying and you're trying and you're trying and you're trying, and it's just, what more do you want from me, and what else can I do? And it's really nothing else. And you really do know your husband better than the people who've been around him his whole life, and they can't also understand that. And she is his best friend. He didn't have a choice in being a royal, but that's really not who after what his mom went through, that's nothing he ever really wanted anymore.
No, because so he really followed her footsteps. Like he was the one that was going out and doing things and going to other countries, and he just was doing other stuff that wasn't, I'm just a prince. Soon to be,
I don't want to get too deep into it, but I will say
I want to watch it.
I encourage everybody to watch it. I think you will gain more understanding. You'll gain more respect for them. And when it went off, I felt happy for them. And they are living. They are so happy right now. And I think that's all that matters. Mm-hmm. You know, here's the thing. It was heartbreaking also to see the breakdown of how many people are just hating her. And when they did like the issue with like the security detail like online of people that are like watching, this information I will say was amazing to me. They went through like 114,000 tweets, and they said you would think that would be like when they're looking at terrorist stuff, and they said they boiled it down to only 83 accounts. That these were actually like, when a lot of things are like bots, these are actually human people that are sending out stuff on her. And they said it's highly organized, like people literally getting up and saying, what are we going to tweet about her today? What are we going to say? And actually sending out details on how to set up VPNs so that they don't lose their accounts and all this stuff, and how to make multiple accounts. And that what was the most enlightening information, and that from these 83 accounts, they could reach like 17 million people. Mm-hmm. And that these weren't men or massive hate groups. These were like white housewives.
Yeah.
That hated her.
Yeah.
Just because. And that was like, I literally sat there and cried last night because it was just, and that she became open and saying that she became suicidal at one point because she just said, they're just mad at me because I exist, because I'm breathing.
Because I'm not. I don't.
His mom went through. That's so,
exactly.
I don't.
And you know what?
I don't comment on Twitter a lot just because I'm just like I don't. I refuse to attract that to myself.
Right.
Because certain things I just don't. Like, I just will not comment on. I just don't want to deal with it. But I look at Twitter a lot and I'll read through stuff a lot. I just will. And looking at the people that have all this negative stuff to say about her, I am not surprised to see that who it is.
It's amazing.
You know, I'm not surprised to see that it's the average white housewife. Because, and the ridiculous part, the insane part is that it's a lot of times it's Americans.
Right.
Like, why are y'all so invested in the royal family that has literally nothing to do with you?
The UK were proud. The white and the brown people in the UK were proud.
Well, it is. I've seen some UK Twitters.
What are you mad about? He wasn't marrying you.
I've seen some UK Twitters and they weren't all proud.
No, but they were saying overall they could even see that there was a change coming. But I'm saying, with the people, what you white folks matter? He wasn't coming to your house to pick you up.
It's a lot of hate that they try to say when they're called out. They say it's not because she's black. Okay.
It's absolutely because she's black.
Because y'all boil down y'all tweets and look at some other stuff y'all say. That's the reason. That's the reason. You know, or when I see people say stuff like, she was on some show, Canadian show called Suits. Who even know what Suits is? A lot of people. Suits was, I never watched it because that just wasn't my type of show. But Suits was an extremely popular show. Try again.
It wasn't on for 1 or 2 weeks.
No, like that gave me the energy of we all adults. That gave me the energy of when you hear women break up with guys and they say stuff like he wasn't even that big, or it wasn't even that good. It gives me that energy of, let me belittle this other thing because I just don't like this person. You know, this. But I definitely plan to watch that.
Yeah, it is so enlightening that, I mean, it's 6 hours and 6 episodes, but it went by very fast. It really pulled you in. Her mom is involved in it, you know, so it's a lot. But it ended with me still cheering for them and their love, and just them as individuals and who they are. And I think that was the point, you know. So I just think everybody should watch it. And I just think that you don't know till you know. Lastly, I don't know if you all watched the show Sister Wives. I've been addicted to the show since it came on in 2010. But here's the reason why it's in my current news feed for today. So when the show came out in 2010, it was the story of Mr. Cody Brown and the 3 wives that he started with, and then he was courting a 4th wife who he ended up marrying as the show started. And they're Mormons, and they was, you know, promoting to us the beauty of polygamy and being sister wives. Johnny's face. You seriously can sit here and eat in front of our face? Is there enough to share with everybody?
Where's mine?
So cute.
Where's mine?
From Walmart.
Hold on still. What is that?
Wholeness. It seems like it's like shredded wheat with little nuts on the inside.
It looked like a nest. It looked like nuts with little nuts with eggs. That is so adorable. I don't like any type of almond, peanut, nothing else, cashew. But it looks adorable. I would never eat it.
It does look good, but I don't think I'm gonna try. I think
because it don't look like nothing I wanted to eat, but it looks adorable.
It's definitely like something I would love to do for children's church.
We've got some holiday well wishes from a follower.
Which follower?
JC Dawes.
All right, thank you. But anyway, on Sister Wives, so I've watched it religiously for the last 12 years because it's just the thought of being Sister Wives it's just amazing thought to me. And so he's the father of 18 kids with all 4 wives combined. He started off being married his first wife Mary, and then he married Janelle 3 years later, and then he married Christine, I think the year or two after that, and then in 2010 he married Robin. And then I think 4 years after that he divorced Mary because he could only legally be married to one wife, and then he had spiritual marriages to the other ones. So he legally divorced and married to legally marry Robin so he could adopt her children, which I thought was admirable. So they could be on the insurance and all that stuff and yada, yada, yada. So fast forward to November of last year, Christine, wife number 3, states she's done. And
That's the only one I know about.
Divorced, and she divorces him. She separates and she gets her divorce. That was last year. So this year's season, which is airing now, the season finale is this Sunday, has played out, and we've watched their divorce play out for the world to see. Well, that was wife number 3, right? Honey, this man has lost wife number 2 and wife number 1.
Heck no, not 1 and 2.
Well, here's the thing. So probably 4 or 5 years ago, wife number 1, there was an estrangement, and she got caught up in this catfishing thing, and he never forgave her for that. And so for the last 5 years, he's been saying, I don't even want to really be married to you. We're not really married anymore. In fact, while he's been upset with Christine for divorcing him and she won't fight for our marriage, he's been saying, Mary can go if she wants to. She don't even have to be here. I don't even want to be with her. So I've been thinking, you're so ice cold and cruel. And Mary's been begging him. Everyone's been saying, Mary, you should leave. He's so cold to you. It doesn't make sense. He don't visit Mary's house. He hardly ever speaks to her. And they only have 1 child, and their child is grown. So finally, Mary woke up and just like, he don't want me. Like, she's finally realizing he has not been wanting me for so long. So she was the last one to just been like, he's saying what he wants. He doesn't want me anymore. And Janelle finally just said, you're making me choose between my kids and you. And when it comes down to it, I'm gonna always choose my kids.
No.
And so now he's down to, which everybody's been saying, it's been obviously the younger favorite wife, because he's been saying stuff like, she's loyal to me. She actually honors me. She treats me like a real wife. Now, how you gonna say that to the chicks who've been here with you for the longest? And third. Now, so I have watched faithfully for the last 12 years, and I have just always thought, this can't, when people have tried to say this bill of goods, like sister wifeism is this fun thing, you know, they all admitted they get jealous at times. They all admit that it's hard, you know, and I don't have a problem telling certain things about my life, right? So, you know, I've been in a situation where I've been asked to be a sister wife, couldn't do it, because tried to be enlightened, tried to be modern.
I don't even think that takes enlightenment. That just has a desire. If that's not what you want to do,
I'm just not enlightened enough.
Not, you know.
Yeah, like that's If that's not you, that's not you.
Enlightenment, and I think it takes a willingness. I didn't have it. I felt like the time, maybe, but I am not a woman who wants to share.
No, I've always felt like that. Like if that's what you want to do it.
What is it that you want? So these women initially, that's what they wanted. And I think what I admire about them is, even if it's been 25, 27, 32 years later, that you can be woman enough to say, I don't want this anymore. And can walk away. What's been hard to watch is him gaslighting, being abusive verbally, emotionally, berating them, and making these statements. I'm not the one giving up. I didn't walk away. I'm not gonna, but you're unbearable to live.
But you're pushing people away.
Thank you.
And see, that's the thing. I'm like, that relationship honestly seemed unhealthy because of that. Like, I do know, because humans are humans, there will be jealousy and clashing in those type of relationships, in a general sense. But because it was on TV, you don't know how, a lot of people, these women are, the sisters are trying to cover up how they really feel and not make stuff look a certain way they couldn't just express. So I'm like, that just really seemed unhealthy, because I'm like, I do believe that there are those type of relationships that are perfectly fine. And it's not this, issue. But I'm like, that's the thing. Me personally, no. I would never be in a poly relationship. You couldn't get me to be in one. But if that's what you want to do, then as long as all parties are okay with it, then you can do it. But this sister-wise just seemed really unhealthy. And I mean, in general, anything on reality TV seems unhealthy. But it's just, that has too many dynamics for that to just be like on TV, because so many things would need to be talked about in a private intimate one-on-one setting that you can't really do if you know we're always being recorded.
Yeah,
you know.
And a lot of sister wives, I've seen when just on YouTube listening to their stories, even when they worked out their jealousy and everything is fine, like when the man isn't home, as soon as he comes home and he sees everything is fine and they're getting along and everything, then he's trying to make them jealous.
Yeah.
Because he wants to feel like the man, and number two, if they're too buddy chummy, then they're
stronger than him.
Right, they're stronger than him.
And see, that's what I'm saying. That was never a healthy dynamic. That was never a healthy dynamic, because that's not how even those relationships should go.
And you know what's weird that I thought? This man has 18 children, and only 3 of them are like middle school age and down. Everybody else he has one that's graduated from high school, everybody else is college age and up. None of them want to live a polygamous lifestyle. Not one. That's odd. For that to be your religious upbringing. They
grew up in it and saw what they saw, told them, I don't want this.
But what I'm saying is, for that to be your religious upbringing, that tells me you've done something very wrong.
That's like the show Escaping
Polygamy.
No, not that one. Escaping. It's a religion.
Amish one you talking about?
I think it's Amish.
Yeah.
And that's because, and again, I'm not gonna broad stroke it and say it's all that, but like that just what they showed, at least with them, they, excusing what everybody been dramatized. I can say that any type of reality show. I can see why they would want to escape that, because it wasn't healthy. Like, they can't just grow up, express, and be. They have to, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and you're going to marry this guy, you're going to be this, you're going to do that. And it's just like, I can see why you would want to escape. I can see. So it's just, I can definitely understand why the kids would grow up and be like, no. If this is what it is, I don't want it.
It's been interesting to watch. I'm telling you.
I haven't watched it as long as you have, but I've watched some enough to know.
I have watched it since episode 1. And
Somebody
Monday night for the season finale.
I haven't been watching it, but I've been watching the Christine update.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so proud of Christine. I was so proud of her for taking her life back. Definitely.
Yeah. She's so calm about it, like, nah, I'm good.
And that's what's made him the most mad. That she's just been like, I'm not fighting with you. I'm done. And then Janelle was right behind her, and Janelle was like, you know what? I feel the same way.
She don't have to fight. You ain't got to fight. Go do you. What's he gonna do?
No.
And my thing, especially
if like, I'm not even legally married to you.
No.
So, I mean,
if you're not the first, if you
they don't have sex, none of that.
If you're not the first wife, go. What's he gonna do? Because the only person
wife gave up her rights. That's what I'm saying. She divorced him so he could marry the 4th wife, because he needed to legally adopt her kids. So the first one is gone too. She was the last one. And this just came out this week.
Oh, I was just saying, if you're not the first wife, you ain't got to deal with, we got to get divorced. You can go. Because he's not legally married to you.
Finding you.
The only person that's legally married to him is who he first married. Everybody after that, he basically just gave you a promise ring. And some words. So if you said you want to go, you can go. You are free to go. The only thing you have to deal with is, if any of the ones that left have kids, and that's it.
Let me tell you though how this relates to the Black Hebrew Israelites though.
Girl, you gonna have folks mad.
Okay. If they want to be mad, they can get mad and they can stay mad. Okay. But it's men who will marry you spiritually and act like it's a big deal when you get married, but then when you want to leave, they tell you go ahead and leave. But I'm gonna keep your kids, or go ahead and leave. It's nothing binding. You're not gonna get nothing from me. You're not gonna get nothing. Even though it's women that dedicate their whole lives to these men who they're spiritually married to. Mm-hmm. When they've had enough of the beating and the abuse and the spiritual abuse, and they want to go, it's men who will take pleasure in telling them, go ahead and go, you won't get nothing from me, and I'll make your life miserable. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I was legally married to a man, and I got that too. I got neighbors.
That's what I'm saying. In a lot of ways, people would think, oh, hearing this kind of stuff would make me scared to be married, which I do want to be married, but I'm like, no. I was like, a lot of stuff is that I hear and see. First of all, some of these situations I wouldn't be in because I would never be in a poly relationship. Period. So that's not even an issue. But like, I have older sisters. I have a mom. I have a dad that, talks to me and tells me stuff from certain male point of view. So I have people in my life that I can see and be like, okay, watch out for this. So like, I'm 7 years younger than my eldest sister, Renee.
I don't like the eldest that you use.
Eldest. My oldest sister. My oldest sister. When we say oldest, eldest, grownest, first.
Renee.
Whatever you want to call her.
Renee. You do make it easier, don't it, Renee?
But I'm saying people don't know, y'all, because a lot of people always ask me who's oldest. So if all three of us together, like, who's the oldest sister? Well, Renee.
The short one. The shortest one is the one.
Thomas, the firstborn Renee. Okay. Then, how many years apart are we at now? It's November passed. January has to come. 3 years?
3.
We're 3 years right now, right, Shani? We're 3 years apart right now, right?
I'm 40. I don't know how old you are. You'll be another age. And on January 12th, I know. Right. Happy birthday! Another age.
We're currently 3 years apart. Till January. Currently 3 years apart. But I have those oldest sisters to be like, that they both been married or are married, have kids, all kinds of, like, I can, they'll tell me, hey, watch out if you do this. Watch out for this. Pay attention to these red flags. So, I have that, but, when I see a lot of these women, you hear their backstory is, oh, I was the only child, or I wasn't close to my family, or, I didn't have them, mom telling me, it just was like, a lot of these times, they were preyed upon because they never had that.
They were looked at as vulnerable.
They never had that support, so these men kind of sniff them out and be like, "Oh, I can get you. I can take advantage of you because you whatever."
Go ahead. I don't care who's watching. I just want to say, I know somebody who's in a polygamous relationship, and every single
we all do that?
Every single wife that they have has severe.
Don't say S.A.
I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say daddy issues.
Okay, I didn't know if it was that. I can believe that too.
Severe daddy issues.
Yep.
I mean, like, you get me? Okay, now I understand people have mommy issues and people have daddy issues, but why does every single one of your 4 wives have severe daddy issues?
Pray.
Is that a coincidence, or did you seek them out?
Pray.
No. I always tell people abusers know how to find their prey. Abusers know how to find their target.
Yep.
Except when you're a predator. Accept it. Right. You're a predator. Say it to yourself in the mirror 5 times. I'm
because
a predator.
It's one thing if out of all your wives, one had that backstory.
Right. Because people have messed up.
Life happens. You know, like that's like me saying, you know, that's no different than somebody I dated. Out of the guys I dated, which ain't been a lot, but out of guys I dated, okay, this one had daddy issues. Okay, fine. But if every dude I dated had daddy issues, either I'm looking for dudes with daddy issues or I'm attracting dudes with daddy issues. One or the other. you know, it's something ain't working. You know, but like, you know, I don't remember how many wives it is. I don't watch Sister Wives like that. But like, when all of your wives have that trauma in their lives, and then you just there, you look like you looking for wives that have that trauma, so they'll accept what I'm doing. They'll accept me saying be poly with me, be with the be wife number 5, all this other crap I'm doing because I know you have this over here. You know. Girls. Okay, this is supposed to be, we over an hour and a half in. We are an hour and a half in. But my thing is this, people need to understand we will get, a topic will get us. Certain topics, especially with women, will get us.
That poly topic really get me because
I'm a firm believer in if you want to be poly, be poly. Live poly, love poly, life poly. But if you do not let nobody talk you into being poly if you don't want to be poly. Because I don't want to be poly. I have no desire to be poly. Like I would be like you was all types of 20 types of stupid if you say talk. I got 5 other wives. Congratulations. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Like no, like I don't want to be. Yeah. You know, I want to be wife 1 only. You know, like I ain't trying to be wife 1 of 6. Like a freaking collection.
That's the thing too. I don't think it's anything wrong with alternate versions of society.
Open, poly, BDSM.
Do what you want to do.
But
don't force nobody to do
everybody has to be in agreement with it. Yeah. Exactly. Like I'm saying, poly, BDSM, open, whatever.
Everybody's not the same. I accept that. Don't force nobody to do something that they don't want to do, though.
Right.
No.
There are women who really, really want that life. But they but you need to find those women.
Find those women. Find them.
Don't find women that have...
Oh, they used to do this in the Bible. You should want this. This is God.
No, it's not.
I want it. Leave those women alone. Find the women that want it. Because there's women out there that want it.
It's women that's looking for it.
Don't force it on people.
All right, Shani, breathe, Shani, breathe.
Woosah. I'm gonna say this. This will help you shake it off.
Let it out.
You look like you should have been in the other school in the best way. I'm gonna look at you all night.
Terry Washington just now.
No, not Terry Washington. Charlize Theron. In the best way, though. In the best way. Because look, my look would not be in the good school. But just say it. You look.
Let's move on before I get heated.
Go like this.
All right.
Okay.
Change it.
I really had to exhale that out. Like I had to just kind of.
All right. So we had 2 amazing people in the performing arts world that we've lost in the last couple weeks. On November 25th, we lost Irene Cara.
Yeah.
That popped up on my Google, and I was just like, oh.
Yeah, it hurt me a lot. She's been a part of my life because she's Miss Fame to me. Irene Cara was an American singer, songwriter, and actress of Black, Puerto Rican, and Cuban descent. Cara rose to prominence for her role as Coco Hernandez in the 1980 musical film Fame, and for recording the film's title song Fame also, which reached #1 in several countries. In 1983, she sang and co-wrote the song Flashdance, What a Feeling. from the film Flashdance, for which she shared an Academy Award for Best Original Song and won a Grammy Award for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance in 1984. I actually, for some reason, didn't know that.
Finally, something before me. I wasn't born yet in 84. I wasn't born.
Prior to her success with fame, Cara portrayed the title character Sparkle Williams in the original 1976 musical drama film Sparkle, for which I also love her for. But yeah, when I saw that I had to take a moment from work and literally warn her that she's just been a part of my existence, and she will absolutely be missed. So we thank her for all of her contributions and all of her work. I know when I saw Debbie Allen's interview, Debbie, oh my gosh, watching Debbie cry really made me cry. I want to go hug Debbie. I hadn't seen Debbie weep like that since I forget the guy's name that played
I know you're talking about the one, the black guy.
The one from Fame. Yeah.
The black guy with, yeah.
When he died.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. I can't remember his name.
You gonna make me look this up.
I know, because if not, I'm not
I can't. I'm like, you either gonna get a text from me later tonight or something else. So you gonna make me
it's gonna be on your mind.
For real, be 5 o'clock in the morning.
4 o'clock in the morning, I'm like,
this is who it was. You keep talking.
And also, of course, we know on December 13th.
Breathe it through.
Right.
We were shocked to hear that we lost Stephen Laurel, Twitch boss. If you are any part of the performing arts world, the dance world, there's no way that you've not known this name and have not been endeared to who this person is. And for me, I have been such a fan since he came on the scene and So You Think You Can Dance almost 20 years ago now. Gosh. And I've always just admired his tenacity because he wasn't the winner, but he was the guy that didn't give up, you know? And and he just was, and his skill was just incredible. And so I've just always thought a lot about him. And you know, I didn't watch So You Think You Can Dance this season when it came back because it had been off for 2 years and it was just kind of hard to get back in the groove of it. And I had just started binge watching it again, and then I went out of town, and so I was like halfway through the season, and I just came home last weekend, and so I had said I'll finish watching it, and not. Oh my gosh! I went to watch it today, and I was like, nope, can I do it? Because he's a judge this year.
I know I can't. I know that's going to be hard for me because and I part of the problem, and not saying I want to see him have been like sad on something, but seeing him with that energy he has and that excitement he has, and then knowing probably it could have been at that time, it could have been at before that, it could have been any, you know, he was struggling, and it's going to be so hard to see that and know he's gone.
I want to say this. I have watched an amazing outpouring of love for him, his wife, his kids, but I've also seen some things that I am a licensed and ordained minister. It bothers me when people of my community do things I wish they wouldn't do. And sometimes it's just timing. And then sometimes, how about you just have some compassion? And sometimes you should just be silent. Even if it's what you believe. I don't care if you have all of this, the discernment in the world, and it's what you know, shut up and don't say it. Because number one, everybody's not ready for what you know.
No.
And then number two, it just sometimes don't need to be said. Because his wife still has to mourn, and his kids still have to live without him.
Mm-hmm. And she still has to take care of those kids.
blown away by the men and women of God that I am reading saying she caused it. Oh. It's her fault. It's her fault. And that they're even making this a racial issue. That they are making this spiritual by using terms that you're making this about her having the spirit of Jezebel. Just number one, the man just died and he killed himself. These are the things that honestly, and I'm going to have to switch the subject in a moment. These are the things that honestly make me not want to tell people I'm a preacher. These are things that make me...
It's embarrassing.
And I'm trying not to cry here. These are things that are heartbreaking to me. And I just think, number one, only he knows what happened in that hotel room, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Or before. And I just published a piece about one of my very real bouts with my mental health. To deal with suicide, the attempt of suicide, the thought of suicide is so real. I have no problem telling anybody that I have had more than one attempt in my life. Everybody's not walking around in a dark haze. Everyone's not walking around in a space where you can see it or know it. Some people are functioning depressive, and I was. Some people can be smiling in your face and be in such a very black space.
Yeah.
Some people can be at a party with you, in a service with you, and be preaching and singing and dancing and ministering and go home and not turn on lights and sit there and cry and give out. And I know what that feels like. And I just think that's probably more his story than what you want to accuse anybody else of, because sometimes the people who give out the most are the most empty. Mm-hmm. And I think about Kate Spade, that they all said she was just at a party. She was just at a party. She was the life of the party. And then she went home and killed herself. Somebody but I promise you that didn't happen overnight.
No, and that's what a lot of people always think that, depression, which, I mean, he had to, like, without saying for sure for facts, I believe he would have had to have some type of depression to get to that point. You don't go from being okay to that. Like, that's not how that works. So I believe something would have been going on with him for a while, or at least a significant amount of time. But regardless of that, because I'm not a doctor nor trying to diagnose him post-mortem, but he had a struggle, and it wasn't a day. No. It wasn't a bad day. And so it's, you can't blame that on somebody, period. You don't blame that on somebody. Because, a lot of people don't want to see it that way. But, like, it's just, once somebody gets to that point, it's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault. He just was in a bad place that he couldn't get out of anymore.
And you don't know what triggered it. You don't know if that has come from his childhood. But I can tell you, look at the life he was leading, the schedule he was keeping. When you're a person who has to be on all the time, like, that's a hard place to be in.
Yeah.
And
he didn't just wake up one day and be like, my coffee was cold. Like, that's not, that's not how that works. Like,
that's because you gotta think of Ellen, which he was on for a very long time, ended. Then Okay, he has all the stuff that just came out. The hip hop Nutcracker. Him and his wife just had something that came on Disney Plus. Then all of a sudden, So You Think You Can Dance comes back out, and he's a judge. You don't know all the things that he had to go through with these things coming out. These things just came out.
Yeah.
You know.
All of those, and some of those things had scandals, and like the Ellen, everything. The last season of Ellen had a lot attached to it. So you think the dance had the thing with Matthew Morrison attached to, like, you trying to hold stuff together,
and you don't know.
Another baby.
No, and you don't know. This man could have been struggling with this before all of that. That could have been his struggle. Because 9 times out of 10, somebody that's to that point, this is not necessarily something that just popped up today. And it was like, this is the one bad day. Like, no, like, that's not generally how that works. So it's just like, my thing is this. I don't really care in the sense of, I don't need to nitpick what his struggle wasn't, what the trigger was, who did what. This young man, young, because he was like 40?
He just turned 40.
Young man.
That's younger than me.
This young man.
Just like me.
Yeah. This young man, that was what we all see as successful, had what we thought of as a good, loving wife, kids, just had a new child, all these things happening for him that are seen as good. One day, made decisions to end it. That's not. You can't put that on his wife. That's not fair. You can't put that on her.
I've been reading people saying that, they speculating that he was trying to get out of his marriage and he took that as a better way out. Like
don't do that. Don't do that.
How cruel can you be? Did you do that to
We
Phil
will
Hartman?
never know why he did it if he didn't leave a note.
Just accept why. Just accept that it happened, and you will never know.
But to sit there, first of all, most families and significant others already blame themselves. Mm-hmm. So why would you put that on her more and be like, this is your fault? She probably already blames herself. She probably has already been saying, why didn't I see something? Why didn't I know? Why didn't I see?
Because they're saying how quickly she released a statement that she ran to the LAPD so fast, and then right behind that the body was found. But they were married for 9 years and then together before that. You don't think she knows his behaviors? I mean, they were best friends. She should know. After over 10 years, she should know his what he normally does and what he doesn't do. Now, if days and days had passed, then you'd say she was a horrible wife. How did you not know?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
I want her and people around her that really care about her to just protect her and block out anybody else, because these other people
have little kids.
They don't care. Because if your first go-to is to blame his wife, you don't care about Twitch. And my thing is, I don't know Twitch, and I'm a firm believer in I make sure I do not have parasocial relationships with people I like that are famous or whatever. So I'm like, I was sad when he when I found out what happened, all that kind of stuff. I'm not in his circle.
I think it's the flip side of what Meghan Markle's dealing with. You're not blaming his wife, you're blaming his white wife.
Yeah.
His
but
white
I'm saying,
wife. Yeah.
I'm saying
That's
it's like, I'm not in his circle. So I'm not gonna, it's just like, y'all sitting here picking stuff that's happened out of your own mind. You're not even saying, oh, I know this for a fact. It's, I'm gonna because I saw a video clip or saw a message somewhere and heard something from some other person on Twitter, I'm gonna blame his wife. He's like, y'all don't know Twitch.
Even if they have the worst argument in the world the morning that he killed himself, even if there's some truth to that, or if that's the absolute truth, he's still gone. She will still have to live with that, and those kids still don't have a father, and you should have some compassion, and you should let that go. Exactly. And that's where I am with
because that. What is that? Even if, and and it's like, and a lot of, and the messed up part is a lot of people that saying that is always with that love to tout. Oh, I don't care so much about mental health and all that kind of stuff. No, you don't. You want to know how I know you don't? Because you sit over here doing this. Because this is not helping her at all. It's not helping her. You're talking about mental health. Okay, well, she's going through the grieving process. Her husband didn't get in a car accident, which causes one kind of issue, or have a terminal illness, which they plan for, like Chadwick. Like, he just was gone.
He gave up.
He just was gone. Like, she saw him, talk to him one day, next day he was gone. So, you attacking her? You want to say you care about mental health? No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. Because that's not helping anybody. It's not helping her. It's not helping the kids. It ain't helping nobody in his family.
Yeah. And from a business and branding standpoint, I understand how, with social media, like, I understand how you want to make your voice be heard, and you come from a lot of people be like, well, if you're a celebrity, then you got to understand people are going to say this and people are going to say that.
Of course.
And if you are a celebrity, you do have to understand people are going to say whatever they want to say. And if you are a business or a brand, then you do have to give your opinions on certain things that come up, especially if they are in alignment with your brand. Mm-hmm. At the same time, when do you stop having morals and values?
You don't. You shouldn't.
When do you stop? When does your business and brand or your ministry
not the quote
override your morals and your values? You know what I'm saying? If you wouldn't do this to somebody in the same city as you, in the same friend group as you, don't do it because they're a celebrity, because they're still people. So stop that. Don't try to say, well, my brand speaks on stuff like this, so I had to say this and it. You never stop having morals and values.
No.
So get it together.
No.
Now, the only people I would exclude would be the gossip people, and
that's their brand.
Minister, like Minister Leah was saying, if you're a minister, get yourself together, and you need to humble yourself, and you need to realign yourself with the reasons why you're doing this in the first place. Because if you are pro-black, you still have to understand that we are still connected to Caucasian people. If you are hurting a Caucasian person, you are still hurting black people, because we are still connected. So get your stuff together and get off of your high.
Exactly.
This woman has lost her husband
and the father of her kid. Exactly.
Thank you.
And then understand there is a time and a place. This is not the time or the place. And here's my thing. However I feel about blackness, that's the best way I can think about it. Blackness as a whole. I would never attack a white spouse because their black spouse lost the fight. Yeah. This is not the time. This is not the time. Unless that white spouse did something we know for a fact led to something else. That's different. But y'all, nobody knows. Because I can see the stuff I see. Nobody knows. So, like, y'all, it's like, when did we lose? And I don't even like to say that because I'm old enough to know and remember when social media wasn't what it is. So I really think people being able to instantly put out their thoughts anywhere took away people being able to be like, hey, I don't need to say this right now. Because they have the ability to just spew it whenever they want to. But it's not that these people weren't like this before now. It's just now they're like, oh, well, I can put it on Twitter. I can put it on Facebook. But you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Like, how hard is it to just go, if you're going to go on Twitter and be like, I'm, sending well wishes to Twitch's family. Even if you don't know his name, but you know who Twitch, like his real government name. But you were like, I just, wish well wishes to his family, his wife and family. How hard is that? Why is that not a thing anymore? Like, but no, you're going to go on and do all this other stuff. That's just, the stuff I've seen on Twitter and other, mainly Twitter. It's just sad. It's just sad.
It's heartbreaking.
It's just like, let this family grieve.
Well, the Elijah sisters definitely send our love and our prayers to Allison and their 3 kids, as well as the rest of his family and everybody else that's close to him.
Yeah. I might,
and that be
in a way, like I might plan to watch the Step Up, some of the older, like the more recent Step Up movies that he was actually choreographer and stuff on, just be like, just to see that part of him again,
So, the movie that we are reviewing tonight is, I'm moving ahead.
Well, I mean, we're almost 2 hours in, so it's up to you what you want to go to. Because I can post what I was supposed to talk about on our socials.
Yeah, we'll do it on the socials. The movie that we're reviewing tonight is The School for Good and Evil. And I just loved it. I absolutely loved it. Hold on.
No. And just so y'all know, what'll be posted is because this is gluten-free month? Bake month?
Week. Yeah, gluten-free baking week.
So y'all will be getting a gluten-free recipe on our socials. Which was Facebook, Meta, whatever you want to call it, YouTube, not TikTok, but because I can't post that on TikTok, not Twitch, but Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube community. It'll be on there.
Yes. So the School for Good and Evil, which is currently airing on Netflix, stars Kit Young as Rafal, Rian, who's plays both younger brothers. He was really good too.
He was.
Sophia Ann Caruso as Sophie, Kate Blanchett as the Historian. I love her voice.
Oh my gosh, I love Kate Blanchett. That made me remember. Before I forget, I don't know if y'all seen it yet or heard about it. The newest Pinocchio on Netflix. No, but I'm saying, because when you said Kate Blanchett, that made me remember. She plays a monkey on that, and the monkey doesn't speak. The monkey just makes monkey noises, and it's Kate Blanchett. I was like, she just like, I act how I want to act. But that just made, when you said her name, made me remember.
I would have never known that.
Yes.
You found a way to work this Pinocchio into my show.
Well, when you said, I didn't know I forgot she was a historian. But so when you said it, I was just like, she's in that too. Oh, that's also on Netflix.
Chantilly, if you come back on this camera one more time eating something else.
I like your lipstick color, whatever that is.
It's a mukbang.
It also stars Sophia Wiley as Agatha. She did a really good job.
I love how they're
for most of the movie. I'm gonna tell you the part that I didn't like in a moment.
I love how both of the lead actress names are Sophia, spelled different ways, and the other girl her name is Sophie. I just thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. I'm trying to do the top. Patti LuPone. Let me tell you.
She did her thing.
Love me some Patti.
Patti! Are you still eating them nests?
I cannot with her.
Are you still eating them nests?
No, burrito this time.
And of course it stars Charlize Theron, Kerry Washington, and Lawrence Fishburne. Those are the top billing actors and actresses in the movie. So the movie is about these two young ladies who are readers
and best friends.
They really are best friends, and they venture into this bookstore, and they're reading, and Miss Patti LuPone talks to them about this school. The School for Good and Evil has been around for a long time, and it actually starts with the two brothers, Ralph.
And honestly, I didn't even know that was the same person when I watched it.
Rafal and Ryan.
And whatever. Yeah, I did not realize that was the same.
They have this fight in the beginning of the movie, which you don't really know how it ends to the very end of the movie, and I loved that twist. I thought I understood it, and I don't want to give it away. You'll need to watch the movie. And so you watch the evolution of these two girls' friendship, and of course they go into the bookstore, and they're reading these books, and Patti LuPone tells them this story that ultimately translates them into this other world, and they end up at the school. They believe in two different schools. It's two different schools. It's a good school and the evil school. And Kerry Washington is the dean of Miss Lovely. Now let me tell you, when they first come out, I was like, Kerry is doing the most. Very happy.
Dean Dovey.
Really happy.
Dean Dovey was the most.
But also slightly crazy.
Yeah, she was doing. I was like, she's doing a lot. Right. But Charlize Theron plays the dean of evil, and just the perfect level.
She didn't go to the point, and I'm like, I'm a villain.
Yeah, she wasn't sinister.
Yeah,
she was perfect for Charlize. Like Charlize was the perfect person to play it.
Yeah,
and because I did actually recognize her immediately. It wasn't. I know her voice.
Who, Charlize?
I didn't recognize her when she started talking.
Oh, she's always a comedian in her movies.
But she played her character on point, and but I will say that I thought the girls played their evolutions very well. The only thing I did not like was the girl that's the princess that doesn't think she's a princess. If I had to hear Sophie stop, like one more time, like it was just, honey, embrace who you are, because
she was almost she.
I'm waiting for you to give y'all turns.
She was slightly controlling.
Yeah, it was just like, here's the thing. Your friend is going to be who she's going to be. Y'all are not little girls. You're not 5 years old. When she had embraced, first of all, when Sophie had embraced that she was evil and she came in with the little short dress and cut her hair, I was like, oh.
I was feeling all of it after that. Her hair, the makeup, the dresses, after she realized that, I was like, yes.
But it was the constantly holding on to the friend, the constantly, just Sophie, stop, Sophie, listen. It was like, she gonna drive me nuts. Like, I was screaming at it. Like, I got it, but it was too much. It was just like, I need to breathe. I need to breathe.
I hate it.
That's my opinion. It's my opinion.
You can have your. No, I'm not saying. I I hated Sophie from almost the beginning.
She was doing way too much.
Like, it was way too much of it. It was like
some things you just need to accept.
Like
accept
Agatha, the way that she kept saying it too. It was
Agatha, no. I hated the white girl,
Sophie.
I loved Agatha because I liked Agatha's character.
Sophie was being honest with herself.
No, she wasn't. So I didn't like Sophie because Sophie from almost the beginning of the movie was a selfish, spoiled brat who thought she was good because she read a lot of princess books.
She wasn't spoiled though.
No, I'm not saying she was spoiled. I'm saying how she was acting was spoiled. And so I didn't like her character because she did honestly have a friend that was there for her through everything. And she really wasn't there for Agatha like that. And it showed early enough on for me to be like, no.
Yeah.
You kept saying Agatha was your best friend, but no, Agatha was your best friend.
Yeah. When she said she had to go do something and she know that people was harassing her all the time because she was a witch, and then she said, well, I'm just gonna go, I gotta go get this green fringe, I'll meet you.
Mm-hmm. Like she never really
she goes through.
Like it wasn't like, it's one thing if I had an issue with her when they got to the schools, but like I had issues with her before they even got to that point because she just was like, man.
Even when she took off for the school and she left and she had promised, I'm not gonna do it, and you lied. And
because even if you compare what they went through,
Agatha hadn't came and followed you in the first place.
No, because even if you compare what they went through, like, yes, what Sophie dealt with was not the best, but Agatha went through, like, the only person that liked her was her mom and Sophie. If she left the house or wasn't with Sophie, nobody liked her. Like, she didn't have another place to go. And when she was with her mom wasn't mentally okay. So when she was at home, she still had to take care of her mom. You know, she didn't have another way to be. So it just was like, I'm not a Sophie fan. Like, I was team Agatha from really early on in the movie, personally.
No, I liked Agatha. I just needed her to quit. Needed her to quit chasing after Sophie.
She needed to think about herself.
Yeah, but she couldn't. And I got issues. I will come back to that later since we're gonna go further on the movie. But I do have some issues with Agatha constantly trying to save Sophie. But we can get there later.
I loved Agatha's character. Mm-hmm. It was just that particular, and in the beginning it was like, I get it because I'm literally that type of friend.
Yeah.
But and knowing that I'm that type of friend, it was like, honey, let it go. Yeah, she is not listening.
Because my thing is that storyline never balanced out. No. Like, if you're gonna do that storyline, it has to balance out. It has to be like, at some point you have this person who's giving everything for one friend, and then at some point, halfway somewhere, it has to switch, and it balances out to this friend is giving, and now then eventually they meet in the middle and they're giving to each other. But that never happened.
When Sophie turned on her in that blue forest, that would have been it for me.
No, because
but Agatha didn't learn anything.
Well, I can't even say Sophie learned a lesson, because honestly, the lesson Sophie learned was, oops, my bad, I didn't want this. Agatha,
but she told at the end, she told Agatha that she could stay with the dude, and she was going to take care of her mother. So I feel like she did learn something, but Agatha didn't learn anything.
My issue was because I watched a lot of movies, y'all. So it's like Sophie's turn was like nothing really leading up to it. Nothing really happened, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, I'm good now. Stay with your boy. Stay with the guy what you like. And it was like, for me to accept that one change at literally almost the end of the movie, you have to give me more for Sophie.
And that's only because he didn't choose you. Like, if he really wanted you, I think she still wouldn't have chosen Agatha at all. That's only because no dude wanted you.
Because it's like, you can't just say, because
I picked up on that.
Sophie's change happened when she saw the world being destroyed. But the way she said stuff and it happened, it just looked like, okay, well, I'm just upset because we were going to rule the world together. Because of looking like, because I listened to what she said, what they scripted for her. Mm-hmm. She was upset because her first upset was, I thought we were going to rule the world together. That's what she said. So y'all are telling me she's upset because there's no world to rule. Mm-hmm. Not that people are dissolving into wherever. That's what she's upset about. So you can't give me that line of hers. Then her next change is, you can stay with the guy you like if you want to.
But do you think they're right? Do you think that writing maybe is the way it is because it's clearly a part 2 coming?
Well, first of all, I want a part 2, but I want more Agatha in part 2. Not Sophie.
Well, I believe that has to be that. But I'm saying, do you think that it's maybe written that way because there's another level, because it's clearly a part 2 coming? So they could.
We were supposed to rule them, not kill them. That's what she said.
Yeah, and
she didn't want that to happen because she did with especially the people that she was in, like the evil dormitorium with.
Yeah, and it's like, I can give you that. Like, I definitely understand like the sequel, but I'm my thing is, if I'm reviewing a movie, I can only review what you gave me, because it might not be a sequel. So if you it's gotta be. But I can't review on what ifs. So for me, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying how my mind works. So if I'm looking at what y'all gave me was that line, I thought we were gonna rule them, not kill them. And then she's saying, she had friends in this other house, but it was so much negative of her. I can't just switch my mind to be like, oh, she's fine now.
Well, I will agree with you on this. She clearly wasn't the good girl, number one, because he couldn't have had access to her if she wasn't. Yeah. And then 2, because when she got angry, what would manifest? Yeah. So that was proof of that.
Right. She was in the right school.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. So and it's just like, my issue was just, and my issue wasn't even the good or the bad, because I'm like, I'm firmly on Team Agatha with it's shades of gray.
Yeah. Everybody is good and bad.
Yeah, so I'm firmly on Team Agatha with that. But I'm saying, my thing is, y'all can't write it as... no, I'll put it this way. They wrote it as, and what I took it as, was that this person is... has all these negative traits that you've showed us through 2 hours of the movie. And,
it wasn't no short movie.
No. So you're showing me all these negative traits. You're showing me that she's selfish. She's self-centered. She really, honestly, was never good. Only cared about herself. only did this, only did that, and you showed me all this stuff, and then the last 10 minutes of the movie, her saying, I didn't want to kill everybody and you can stay with your boyfriend, and I'm supposed to be like, yay, Sophie. No.
And the honest truth is
kind of like Barry. Sophie's goodness was kind of like Barry, because she made that crown for her friend when she was younger, when they first met.
No, Agatha made that for Sophie.
Made it for her.
No, Sophie never made a crown.
That's that. But when she saved her from that guy, like she said, when she said she was going to the store to get the friends, and then she came back, and I guess she realized she shouldn't have left her. She came back and saw that guy, and she hit him over the head with the frying pan. And it's just like her goodness is at way down, rooted at the bottom. Like it's like she has to be faced with some real dire situations for her goodness to come out. Where Agatha is the other way around.
It's just who she is.
Yeah.
I put it this way. I think my issue was I wanted Agatha to stay with the prince
herself
and be like,
that was
because I don't like, I get the team friendship, girl power, I get all that. I get, because a lot of people are writing movies like that now. I get it, but it's like I really wanted, like, for me to accept what they wrote. You can't be like, except that Sophie has been a horrible person through most of this movie. And she says like 1.5 good lines at the last end. But we're going to keep making Agatha sacrifice. Like,
it was
I don't like that.
I thought she should have stayed with the prince, but clearly that was to me, clearly 2 movies were written.
That was
so to me,
red flag, yeah.
Either there was an agreement for more than one, or 2 scripts have already been written.
For me to accept that ending, it has to be a second movie. For me to
the way it went off, because he shot the arrow into their dimension and called for her, and he said, Agatha, I need you. That's how it ended.
Yeah. It sounded like he was under some type of control too, though. Didn't it sound like he was like, he didn't
because he chased after her. I think he's coming to look for her. I think he's that in love with her. He's coming to get her.
I believe that.
And he need to, because she don't need to be there.
But my thing is
remember, he has to choose his princess.
For me to be okay with that ending, it has to be an actual second movie. It has to be not we might make a second, a third. No, it has to be a physical. I pull it up on Netflix, second movie for me to be okay.
You'll be able to see how things turned out. Is she really a friend? Is she going to stay in this humble, I'm appreciative, I'm grateful attitude, or is she going to switch back to her ambitious self? Like, there's nothing wrong with being ambitious, but she was just ambitious too. I'm
not even saying her, because I'm like, honestly, I could care less about Sophie. But I'm saying you need to show me that Agatha.
But that's what I was going to say.
I'm okay without you. You're not my only friend. I need y'all to give me more for Agatha, because y'all didn't make Agatha grow.
It's deeper than their friendship. Remember that what Carrie says to her, what Dean Lovely says to her is, "You're the first real princess we've had here in like 100 years." That was the build. That's why I said it's just. Angelique and I think it's just obvious to me. There's a second movie, and that's why I think that the prince came looking for her, because remember his whole build up was, I'm choosing my princess. He chose, and that's why he was trying to kiss her too. He chose her. So to me, what was left open-ended was Agatha, number one, her claiming her princesship and him choosing her and putting her in that spot. That's what was, to me, intentionally left open
We're not different. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying for me to. That's what I'm saying. I'm not. I obviously saw the open ended thing trying to make a sequel. I can see that, but I'm saying my thing is I can't review on a open ended sequel bait. I have to review on what they gave me. Yeah, the sequel bait. I know what I want for the sequel.
But my belief, but this is what I'm saying is, to me, just as a person who writes, because you and I both watch movies. Well, we all three watch movies a lot.
Of course,
I can tell when, like, and I watch TV series a lot. I can tell when there's a cliffhanger, and there's a show that you can tell they hope to come back next season, and it's like, dang, that show got canceled. And you can tell when there's clearly a cliffhanger and you know that show is being renewed. And to me, it's already done, is what I'm saying. To me,
I feel like that too. To me,
that script is either done or it was already, that when they made that deal, it was a 2-picture deal.
Yeah. I feel like in the second one, it was so definite. Yeah, we might find out why she's so powerful in the second. And maybe more of her history.
Right. Because there's something, even the way that they started it about her and her mom, even the way she said that they said that she's a witch and she don't know. Like, there were certain things in the beginning that, to me, so much of her story wasn't told.
Yeah.
So to me, I just think, because there's something to her, for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, when that man, when he killed Gregor, that hurt me, and I almost cried.
That was so unnecessary. I was like, ugh.
Because I was feeling so sorry for Gregor. I was like, this boy is just...
He saw who he was. He was trying to communicate to her, and then it was like everything was going to be all right. And then he come out with his old princely self.
Man, I was so mad when he killed Gregor. I was like, no!
Because I was already feeling so sorry for Gregor. I was like, boy, this boy is not making it. Oh my gosh.
But I definitely agree with what y'all were saying about the more than like it's a two picture deal. Yeah. That's and that's the thing. I'm not saying it's not, because I'm like, the way Netflix works, I would be surprised if it's not in the second movie. But I'm saying,
because it reminds me of Lemony Snicket.
Exactly. But like what you gave me, like what they gave me in the first movie is what I'm saying. I'm like, I can what you gave what you gave me in the first movie. I don't like Sophie. You know, it's like I don't. That's the thing. It's like, and I'm not saying, you know, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I think we really do agree, Renee and I. But it's just like, I don't agree with Sophie. Like, I don't like Sophie. I don't like her. I don't like her character. I don't like her character development. Like, I don't like it. I prefer Agatha because in a lot of ways she did have growth.
She did.
You know, in a lot of ways.
She even got better at dressing more feminine, looking more feminine. Because in the beginning, I was thinking, how is she going to transition?
Yeah, and not thinking, if I dress like this, it's not me anymore. Because and I got some other issues with what they said about, they all constantly dogging out one black girl, and I got some other issues about that. But I'm saying, I'm just team Agatha because of what they gave me in the first movie. Please be a second or third, at least a second. But like what you gave me in the first movie, I would prefer Agatha's character. Because she just seemed, even when she kept defending her friend, she seemed like she had more growth in herself because she spoke up more. Because she really did lean on Sophie to speak for her, defend her in a lot of ways in public, that she had to grow into herself and be able to say what she wanted, defend her point of view. So it's like, I prefer Agatha.
So let me ask you this, just guessing, if there's a second one, do you think Sophie's redeemed enough, or do you think there's a possibility she would be pulled back to the dark side?
I don't personally think she's redeemed enough. I don't think she's redeemed enough. Because
that's what
they redeemed her in what was the last 5? Was it even 10 minutes? Because
she like whatever's inside of you is inside of you.
Because she changed her mind at. I'll have to look at the movie again, but she changed her mind when she saw the building dissolving. So that was maybe the last 10 to 15 minutes.
Right.
You know, and still that wasn't even her. That's all I'm saying. What they wrote for her lines wasn't enough for me to say she's redeemed.
She didn't want to give up the power. She just didn't want to be alone.
Yeah, she was like, I don't want
to lose my friends, but it wasn't. I don't want you
to kill people. This is bad.
Right.
Yeah, like she just was like, I don't. What did she say? She said, I didn't want them to die. I thought we were going to rule or something like that. Shawty said it. I don't remember. So it was like that. That line is not a redeeming good character line. It's her saying, I didn't want you to kill people. Well, I mean, that doesn't make her a good person.
But my thing is, honey, that's the ultimate villain. What did you think was going to happen?
You know, and then she, at the very end, after that section, you know, which, okay, all this happens. She does not do anything after that line, really. She ends. And then her friend Agatha saves her. Mm-hmm. She doesn't do anything at that point, except use some power to throw the sword at Agatha, but that's not enough. You know, that's still not enough for me. So again, Agatha does something else. So then as she gets rid of the dude, she does something for Agatha. What's the girl's name? Sophie. Okay, that's still Agatha again. You know, so at the end, you know, then Sophie says, you know, basically was like, you can stay with your boyfriend if you want to. I'll take care of your mom. And so Agatha's like, goes to do, and I'm thinking like, yay! Yay! Stay with the prince! And she's like, I need to go take care of my mom.
Well,
which is, yeah, you should take care of your mom. But if you're going to write the quote-unquote Sophie redemption arc, you got to give me more than that for me to be okay with Sophie now. Because all you've shown is Agatha growing in small, realistic ways. Mm-hmm. And Sophie...
If Sophie was a real friend, she would have insisted that she stay. Or just left.
Because she was too happy when Agatha said she's gonna go.
Exactly.
And it was just like
it was manipulative. Like you really did.
It didn't. Yeah.
Enough. You know, Agatha really wasn't gonna leave without you. You know, you already knew that.
You know, it's like you didn't give me enough for me to like Sophie. Like I loved Agatha's character. I detested Sophie from like so like. I kept trying, and it's like, even when she had her little bad girl moment, I just was like, I don't like Sophie. I don't like Sophie. And she wasn't even a good villain. She just was irritating.
Oh, now they made her ugly though, honey.
But I'm saying she wasn't a good villain. Like,
no, I'm
like,
just making a statement. They
made her ugly.
They made her ugly.
Ugly. But it's like
she looked like Juice from them Six Flags commercials. Yes.
Exactly. Yes. With the exactly.
And she had so much confidence with that old man face. That was hilarious.
Exactly. And it's just like when I'm looking at it, it's just like, honestly, it's like when you give me a villain. First of all, if you give me a villain like, excuse me,
Charlize was a better villain.
As a villain, and the other girl, that had the not demon,
girl.
Damon. It's not. It's spelled different.
Yeah.
It's like DEAMON on her back, the tattoo. You give me villains like that, and then Sophie.
Mm-hmm.
She's like a Cruella type of villain, though. She was a villain. She was a good villain to me.
Okay.
Yeah, there's different types. There are different levels.
I think I just didn't like her, so she couldn't redeem herself.
You're making it very clear.
When
they had the fight. Now, I'm not, me personally, and my sisters know, I don't like horror. I don't like any type of blood, gore, anything. So when the fight scene first happened, I was like, ooh, I'm never watching it. It was borderline for me. But what I will say, I admire action movies and anything, because I always think someone has to choreograph all this movement.
And that's what I was looking at. That's what I was looking at.
That I was like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Like, I was like, this is the most amazing dance sequence. It was so beautiful. And it's long, but it's so orchestrated.
It is beautiful.
And when you talk about the Shadi said girls in the evil dormitory, when they become good, the black girl, when the swords were coming at them and she stops them and she threw that move and she sent them back, I was like,
I love the black girl. I didn't go back and look her, because I don't think they ever said who her parents. Like, some people, they said whose parents was what.
I'm trying to remember if they said who her parents.
They didn't. Not her. They didn't. They said the one that had the demon. I don't think they said hers either. They said
she kept eating chocolate, so it might have had something to do with the.
That's not the one that did the swords. It was the other black girl. That's not the one that did the swords, though.
That's a different one.
The one that did the chocolate, okay. It was the other one that was a more heavy set. That's the one that did the swords.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know you.
Yeah, the one that did the swords, they never said. The one that did the chocolate, they never. I don't think they said who her parent was.
And just putting her in that white with the big bill sleeve, like, they made her look so powerful in that moment, and just the look on her face. Like, she knew, I'm about to do this.
Yeah. She was like, and I was like, that would have been me. That would have been me. Like, oh, I got some power. Here we go. That was good. I loved it. Yeah.
That was, and even to me, even the way, now I will give Sophie's character the credit, when she turned the good, evil, good, the flipping of the colors.
Oh yeah, I love that. I don't like her character, but I love that scene. That scene was amazing.
I'm personally I think Britney Spears has a lot of good songs. Toxic was not one of my favorite songs, but
all right, we'll see y'all next week. We'll see y'all next week. We're sorry.
It's not one of my friends. I didn't say I hated it. I'm just saying it was not one of my.
You could have kept that to yourself.
But if we're gonna review. You said when things tonight that rubbed me wrong, I'll let you speak. Now,
this is a judgment-free space.
I'm judging.
Y'all just gave me the ugliest faces in the world for saying.
All right, here we go. Okay, start over. Here we go.
But the point I'm getting to was that remix of Toxic.
Oh,
that fight,
girl. When that started, I was in my room talking to
Every what? And I was just like, they making me like Toxic, because that right there was everything.
You see why Toxic is amazing as an amazing song.
Slowing it down like that, I was just like, oh my gosh.
Toxic is a very, like, for me personally, I like the original version of Toxic. I remember the video, but Toxic is a song I've always liked when, like, a good band, artist, whatever, slows it down and makes it different, because it can work that way because of the lyrics and stuff to it. But when I heard it in the movie, I was like, yes, that's my song. I'm about to get the soundtrack.
That was fire. I was just like, whoever the musical director is, they earned their coins just on that.
Just on that, yeah.
Thinking, like, maybe they picked that song because nobody in the movie is being honest with who they really are, and that makes all the relationships toxic.
She is.
Like, nobody is. Nobody's being honest.
And that's what Agatha was saying to Dean Lovey.
Yeah.
Dovey.
She told her that
Dovey. Dovey, like Dove.
Carrie.
Uh-huh.
When she was telling her that old boy was there, that's what she was saying. You got evilness right here, and no one is being honest. Which that lit Carrie up, boy. She was like, "What?" She was like, "That's so new."
Yeah.
Now that got me
because
when
there
I
was some
realized
evil
that
and there was some good in Charlize.
yeah, when that twist, when you realize that the headmaster was really the evil brother, I was like, "What you see?" I just always want Lawrence to be good. I couldn't handle that at first.
Yeah, that was a twist, but at least he was the facade of the good brother.
Right.
What a twist! I think I like
that one. Got me.
I think Kerry Washington I love just because I love Kerry Washington, but I love Kerry Washington because her character, if you're a person that's paying attention, she shows that she has dimensions and stuff early on in her appearance in the movie. And then they keep growing on that. Like they keep growing on she comes out as just being shallow, nothing, be pretty, be nice, be a princess. And then she keeps having spurts of, no, this is my real character, but we have to be this. We have to be this. We have to be this. Mm-hmm. That depth, keeps peeking through, Like that, I think one of my favorite scenes from her is the one at the lake. After the lake incident.
That's the scene.
And she like after everybody's gone and she like talks to Agatha. I'm like,
after what she said, what's wrong with you?
You see that like depth that she because you see she's really trying to just be this shallow, pretty princess queen character, but this is really who I am. Like I'm trying to help you, but this is what's going. Like that.
You know
like
what
Carrie.
That reminded me of? Though? It reminded me of the episode of America's Next Top Model when Tyra snapped on that girl.
We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
That's really what it reminded me of.
It did. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that's how I can feel when you really are believing in somebody and they're not getting it, Because I've worked with teenagers.
Because she couldn't tell her, anything really. She had to just kind of just be.
You have to discover that.
She has to just kind of be a certain way because she's like, I can't, she knows stuff is going on in the school, but she can't tell Agatha. So she has to just kind of be like, listen to what I'm not telling you.
She can't tell Agatha who she is. Agatha has to discover that. That's why she was saying, what's wrong with you? Don't you see it?
Yeah.
You're so busy trying to be anti that you're not being who you are.
Which I'm not gonna lie, I loved. Now one of the things I loved is that they didn't do a white savior movie.
I appreciated that so much
because I'm so good on those. Like I'm so good. I don't need to see any other white savior movie. But like I do love that they didn't do that. Like I do like that, and that's what I was saying. It's like Agatha's growth is so subtle. If you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. What her changes are. But like if they had made the prince save her, or Sophie be the savior or something, I'd have been like, no, I'm good. Don't y'all show me another white savior movie. I don't need another one of those. Mm-hmm. So I do like that Agatha was really the savior of the story. Mm-hmm. The hero, as they call it. I do like that much, even though I have some issues with some other things and everything.
Well, did you like when the beauty school teacher, when she snapped at the end?
Well, first of all, I loved her because I'm like, I loved her, and I believe she was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah. When she said,
huh?
I was like, mother was like, let me tell you something.
Right. I am not just doing beauty.
And then
she lost it.
Well, first when I saw, and I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at, you know, when she first goes to Agatha, she's like looking just like the expression on her face. I'm like, something's going on here. Something's going on here. And then she fails her later. I'm like, no, something's going on here. And then you find out later she was like, I wasn't even a beauty school teacher. I was over here doing something else. And they made me do this. I don't want to do this either. But yeah, if I'm not, no, I'm not even gonna Google it because I'm sure if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. I'm not even gonna Google it. But she was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
No, she was. I'm looking at it.
Okay.
Who was she?
The main lady that taught the other girl.
She was a teacher.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was Yushu Lean.
I
did not know. All this time I thought she just did comedies.
No. And I think she might have been in the other movie that was
I know she was in Crazy Rich Asians because that was.
Yeah, I know she was in that because she talked.
That's not what I'm thinking about. That's not what I'm thinking about. The one, I think she was. Was she in the one movie? The biography with the geishas, Memoirs of Geishas. Was she in that too?
Let me look.
Because she was in a lot of stuff for like a certain amount of time. But I knew when I saw her, I was like, oh no, that's from Crouching Tiger and Dragon. she don't deserve to be demoted to no beauty school teacher. No, she better than this.
Yeah, she was in Memoirs of a Geisha.
She was? Who was she in that?
The teacher. Telling them how to do their makeup.
I didn't watch it.
She just be teachers in movies.
But she was like telling them what why you have to do this. Like she was not in teacher in a good way. She was teacher in like you.
Yeah, I remember. If she's a teacher, I remember her. I didn't know that was her until
because I remember I was looking at a lot of stuff from her, and I think she was in a sequel to Crouching Tiger and Hidden Dragon that's on Netflix too.
Yeah,
she was. Oh, I didn't know. Even though it was a sequel.
I told you.
I know she was like.
I told you about it. You didn't watch it.
Oh, okay. Calm it down. All right.
I put my lips like that too.
All right. I'm not even paying you all any attention at the moment.
But yeah, I saw the sequel and the first one. Like, Crouching Tiger is an amazing movie. That was like the first movie I ever saw that with subtitles, and I was just like,
now, y'all know that is not my style.
I can do subtitles.
I would rather subtitles and then people speaking one language and then the sub of American speaking two actually trying to mesh together. I'm like, the words that can box up.
Nah. Crouching Tiger.
Looking at these people and
Crouching Tiger with subtitles.
Coming out of nowhere.
No, I do subtitles. I love subtitles.
I'll read. Don't worry about it. Don't do that no more. I don't like that.
We over here on Crouching Tiger and Memoirs of a Geisha.
So overall, for me, I've said all I want to say about the movie. I absolutely loved it, and if I was going to rate The School for Good and Evil, I would have to give it.
Look
up into the heavens.
But Scott says,
rewrap.
I honestly, if I would give it these for storyline, acting, musical score, the costuming was bad.
Oh,
we didn't even get into that. The costuming was bad.
Everything.
I would honestly give it a 9. It was really good to me.
I can see why you would give it a 9.
And after what I had to suffer with Disenchanted.
Oh, yeah.
My soul needed something else. But I honestly give it a 9. I would recommend it for anybody. Oh, for me personally, over the age of 12, I still think it had some storylines and some plot. I wouldn't recommend it for anybody over.
Well, just even the Gregors. For
me personally, now I know Chantilly watched it with her daughters. I think that you know what you want your children to see, but for me, I don't want to be responsible for recommending it for anybody younger than 12, just because you know your sensibilities for your children.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have for mine. I know for a young Leah, I couldn't have handled it.
The Gregor scene would have messed me up.
What? That fight scene?
No, not that scene.
That fight scene with me young I wouldn't have slept.
The scene when Gregor was transforming would have really messed me up.
Oh, the killing him scene. What?
That's what I was like. That scene when I was younger.
And the Blue Forest scene. That was too much. That pumpkin come to life.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
I know what I could have handled.
It was a lot.
Nah.
You know when let's be real. It took me a minute to really get through the Wizard of Oz when I was a kid. Like
when that Reaper came up, and I was like, no.
Yep.
I would not have been able to handle that young.
So yeah, so you know what your family can and can't handle. But overall, I think it was a phenomenal phenom, and you'll love it.
What about you, Shana?
I want to give it a strong something between 7.5 and 8.
What is you with the 5s? You 5 last week. You give it a whole number.
I give it a 7.75.
No, you didn't say 7.75.
You're choking me. No.
You can't get an 8. You can't round it up to 8.
Give it an 8, ma'am.
I give it an 8.
Okay, why do you give it a 7? Why do you give it a 7.25?
Because Agatha really bothered me.
Agatha bothered you and Sophie bothered Angelique.
It was like she kept bumping her head up against the wall, like, we have to do things this way.
Yeah, that was getting on my nerves. That really was working my last nerve. It was.
It's like,
Sophie, stop! If I hear that, I'm hearing it in my dreams.
We can't. You can't. I can't. You can't. Like, that was a lot. But yeah, that's why. But I know. I like that Disney is trying to apologize to us as women for all the just sit and wait for your prince to rescue you stuff that they gave us and our mothers early on. So I like that they're allowing the female leads to rescue themselves, but Agatha is the main reason why.
I mean, she could have let the prince do a little bit. Like she was really, she was wearing him out.
Yeah, but even if she still did all the same things, it's just like her transformation was like, so if it was there, I didn't see it. That's the reason why. Because
I feel you.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'll allow you to have that viewpoint.
So
I appreciate that.
But no, we're joking. All of our viewpoints could be are most of the time different. But I would say I'll give it a whole.
That's not cute.
8.5.
Don't you do it.
Yeah. So I because it's not quite a 9. It's not quite a 9 for me. But if somebody, I don't deny your 9. Like I can see why.
You're so gracious. Thank you.
You're welcome. I can see why you would. Yeah, I can see why you would give it a 9. Exactly. I can see why you give it a 9. Like, my thing is gonna be I just don't like Sophie. And they put just so much focus on her.
Should they call you next time they write the script?
They should.
You write it with
they
them?
Put so much focus on her for to be like, look, she changed. And it's like, no, she didn't. It's like y'all didn't. You can't just say almost just say, look, she changed, and she didn't. And when I'm even if it's subtle, I can visually look and see Agatha change compared to Sophie's. When Sophie,
Agatha didn't change.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying Sophie is way more Sophie was almost written look, she changed. But it's no, that's pretty much been the whole movie.
I understand.
It's you can't just tell me she changed in the writing, and I'm just gonna be yeah, she changed, and it's well, no, she didn't. I didn't see it. When I'm seeing, even if it's subtle changes, Agatha really did change, because Sophie almost went back to what she was in the beginning of the movie of, I'm gonna be your friend and do this thing. Look at me being your friend. That was her behavior in the beginning of the movie of, I'm doing this stuff for you. See? So it's you can't, you gotta give me more than that. Look, it's gonna sound bad, but it is what it is. I'm not saying she should have, but if Sophie hadn't came back, it would have made more sense to me than if you just making Agatha again save Sophie.
I actually thought they would let her die, and I would have been good with that.
To give us more of Agatha again doing something by that point in the movie. It was just I didn't need that, and it didn't do anything for me.
Yeah. Now, I totally agree with you on that. To me, where I thought it was ending was Sophie was gone, and so Agatha and the prince were going to
do something.
To me, that would have been the perfect ending.
But to write it as Agatha saving Sophie or doing something for Sophie again.
The perfect love, but the love between two friends.
That's not even perfect love, because Sophie's been selfish the entire movie.
And I got some great friends. But that's not the most perfect love to me.
She's been selfish.
Johnny looked like he's about to explode.
But Sophie,
I'm looking at Leya.
Sophie has been selfish through the entire movie. The entire movie, you wrote her as selfish.
Does my niece not agree?
Probably. And then if she wants to be on camera, she can be.
What she just saw me doing to her father.
Oh. But if Sophie, you can't. To me, you can't write Sophie as selfish through the entire movie and self-centered, and then the person that saves her is the person that's been sacrificing for her through the entire movie. And somehow from that I'm supposed to get Sophie's redeemed. Those two things don't work. You have to have Sophie, because I think they really want us to be look, Sophie sacrificed. She jumped in front of the thing for Agatha. After an hour and 50 minutes of Sophie being selfish? You can't give me that one thing and then I'm gonna go from there. So that's just how I looked at it. I know some people probably be look, she changed. But that's just how I'm looking at it. But the movie as a whole, I'll say I give it a strong, you're gonna be mad, 8.5. But
I'm taking the points off the table next week.
Fine, an 8. See, I was trying to give it almost a 9. But like, it wasn't a bad movie at all. Like, I would definitely, it's a movie I would tell people they would, recommend it to people. All that. Like, it was a good movie to me, in general. I love the costuming. Honestly, I like the costuming when good became evil because it was like darker colors and not a bunch of pastel, which I'm not a fan of. Mm-hmm. So like when everybody wasn't interested in like pastel colors, because that's just, I don't like necessarily pastel colors like that. So when the people that were in the gowns and stuff were in the darker colors, I was like, well, I probably would like that. Right. Personally. But, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, the movie as a whole, even though, I've said how I feel about certain stuff, I'm not going to keep going over it. But, the movie itself, I loved. Like, it was definitely a movie I would tell people to watch for me. If someone was like, did you like it? I would say definitely. I liked it. It was a good movie to me. I liked it more than I thought I would.
Me too. For sure.
I liked it more than I thought I would. Definitely. Personally. I did. I definitely liked it more than I thought I would. So, that's what I said. It's like, I want to give it a 9 because I don't feel 9. I don't want to give it a 9. I'm trying, but I was like, oh. But you don't like half points.
I do not. I think that is artificial. I don't think that's truth.
That's how big.
Say what you gotta say.
That's how big reviewers do. They do half points. And they don't do quarters and 25ths of a cent. But they do halves.
They do 8s and 16ths and 32s.
They do halves. So I can do 8.5 is accurate. Cisco Ebert was doing halves.
They are, neither of them are living, are they?
They did.
How dare you?
I gotta ask, what is that lipstick color, Chantilly, and what brand? Because I love that. I'm gonna keep looking. Is that a black? Is that a purple?
It's purple, and it's a off-brand. It's not a major brand. I have to go look and see.
Oh.
I just got it because it was purple.
It looks really good. It looks real. That's why I keep looking at it because I'm like, that is cute. That's why I said you look like you could have been in the evil school, but in a good way.
I was just thinking the way that we rate it so reflects our personalities. Like Angelique is sit on one side of the scope, Chantilly on one side, and I just really am across the board. Like I just really want peace and harmony and just wrap it up in pretty bow. Just really don't. I definitely have set opinions, but
of course. Oh yeah. Or, like you like I couldn't, like whatever your strongest opinion is, I couldn't get up and be like, it's this. And you would be like, okay.
But I just think that's our personalities, and I just thought that was like so funny to me because Angelique just really had an issue with Sophie, and Chantilly wasn't feeling Agatha, and I just really could see both sides.
No, I was feeling Agatha. I just wanted her to stop putting everybody else and everything else before her. But I did like her more than anything. Yeah.
And see, that's where I didn't say that part of it. But that really was my thing. It's like I liked Agatha's character as a whole. And that's what I wanted for her, to just think of Agatha. And not...
I think that's what she'll be doing in the sequel.
And to me, I think it clearly was a one movie deal.
If they do a sequel, they better do it. They better.
So to me, it was so much left open-ended with her. It was so much not addressed about her because it was, like I said earlier, it was stuff said about her in the beginning of the movie that was never picked up again. Like she commented about stuff they said even about her mom being a witch. I don't know if she's a witch. I don't know if I'm a witch.
Her mom is not. What I remember, her mom wasn't a witch. Her mom thought she was a witch.
Yeah, she had powers.
Her mom
I really have powers or not.
She had power. Yeah.
Yeah, she knew she had powers, but she didn't act upon them. So like. It was talked about that she had powers, which translated when she got to her school. It was never said if Sophie did honestly or not, though. So Sophie's clearly was that she just had something inside of her. She just had something festered in her little spirit. But
Sophie's thing, which is always, I'm a princess. I'm going to be a princess.
It was her imagination.
Yeah,
where her mind was going. I mean, I don't want to go circle back around the fences again, but I'm just saying. No,
because we'll go back.
It was just clear to me. Again, it just things about Agatha that was clear to me that they plan to address later. Like, it was so much open ended about, because it was things that was said. Same message Anthony was saying. You look at what was scripted, the things that were written that you didn't come back and address. Well, because I'm a writer, I know nothing's written and said that's not for a purpose. So the fact that you have it out there, it means you must be planning to get back to that, or you would have finalized it or resolved that if it was just one movie.
My thing is always going to be,
makes it exciting. Then it's like, okay, I can't wait then. And they can't be like, because it's on Netflix, it's not going to be 2 years from now.
No, and that's the thing. My thing is always going to be with this movie. They have to do a second movie, because if you don't do a second movie, you've left me with all the issues of the first movie that are just going to be an issue with the first movie.
Right.
And they're not,
like I said.
Yeah, so you have to do it. If you don't, you have to do it. You know, you have to give me that as a viewer to resolve that, and I want a more Agatha focused movie. I don't want another Sophie focused movie.
It reminded me so much of Lemony Snicket's, and that was what it had so many undertones of it to me. And Lemony Snicket's absolutely would end when you were just like, oh, can't wait for the next one. You know something?
Exactly.
So,
It
had so many cliffhangers and so many things that was open-ended that you just knew they have to address this in the next one. Mm-hmm. And until the very last one, when they clearly wrapped everything up. So to me, it's kind of the same thing. So
but that's the thing. It's like I've seen so many things. I've seen so many things where they don't do a second, even if they lead it. That's why I'm just like, Netflix, give me that second movie, or we're gonna have a problem. You're gonna get a problem. So it's like they have to do it.
Before we end tonight, this week is Saturnalia, which is the winter solstice, and I just wanted to give Chantilly a few moments to share with us what that is as we prepare for this coming week.
Yes! Hit my head on the table.
Okay, I wrote it all down in my notes. My kids messed with my notes and everything since we've been on the hold on.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Who remembers Dreamgirls? Does anybody know that Jimmy got sold? Look at that.
Jimmy got sold. Jimmy got sold. Jimmy got sold.
That's my scene, boy.
I do know on Disney, I plan to watch the thing Renee said she saw with the Beauty and Beast, and I plan to watch Idina Menzel. So it's some Disney watching about to happen tonight. Because Idina Menzel got a concert on there. I'm gonna watch.
Oh, okay. What I know about Saturnalia is also the winter solstice, and
can I ask what that is? Or do you know?
Usually around December 21st or on December 21st, and it's what they say when the sun comes out of darkness and it stops. Because in Vedic astrology, during December 21st, the sun is going to be in Sagittarius, another fire sign. But in Western astrology, the sun will be in Capricorn, which would be the brightest, like it would be like in one of the brightest constellations that people can see on Earth. So it's when the sun stops. It would have been in Scorpio, a real dark place. In Vedic astrology, so it's coming up to Sagittarius, another related to fire. Sun is fire, Sagittarius is fire, so it's where it stops, and that's where it's celebrated, and it has a lot to do with celebrating the sun, like basically stopping and blessing the seeds that are in the ground, because a lot of stuff has to do with farming. A lot of our rituals have to do with growing stuff.
That makes sense. That actually makes sense.
Yeah. So the ground is cold, but then the sun stops, and this is when they celebrate, because they know the seeds that they planted, they're going to be warm and they're going to start gestating, and they're really celebrating the fertility and the growth and the success of their crops, of their fields, of their plants. And that's really what the winter solstice is all about, is just celebrating what the seeds that they're planting right now. And it makes sense because even in modern times, like right now, we're thinking about what goals do we need to set for the next year. We're thinking about what changes do we need to make for the next year. And so we're still planting seeds, even if they're not seeds in the ground. And even with physical seeds in the ground, we need to be thinking about, how are we going to be grateful and be thankful right now for the goals that we're setting right now for the next year, for our crops, whatever those crops might be, whether it's a better relationship with your kids, whether it's health, whether it's money issues, whether it's your business, whatever it is, it's being thankful and praying for the blessings of them right now. And I was looking at, they were saying that one of the herbs that are connected to the sun is ash, because the sun is hot, so ash, when they around Christmas and they show all the videos with the fires burning, and you hear the little crackling and all that, and so after they burnt the fires and celebrated the winter solstice, they would take the ashes from those fires and spread it around their fields, and where they plan to plant their seeds and stuff, to bless it, because that was a connection to the sun. And yeah, so we're celebrating the sun and where it is in the sky, and knowing that where it is going to help you and bless you for whatever seeds that you're planting right now. And that's also a connection to, even though they say Jesus wasn't born on this day, Jesus wasn't born in December, I think that's why they made that connection to the sun coming and blessing everything that's moving forward. I think that's that connection.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what the summer solstice is all about. Just bless whatever goal, whatever you're planning right now, bless it moving forward, and just be grateful for success, joy, fun, romance, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
That the sun represents.
I'm feeling that. And romance is major in my life right now. Bless.
All right.
I don't hear about no romance.
That's not nice.
I don't remember romance.
The year's not over. It's not the 21st. You might have something happen between now and the 21st.
It better.
Is she threatening the sun?
Ain't been no romance in years. Ain't been no romance in years.
Oh, also Holly is related to holy King Jesus. That's what also I saw in my researches.
Okay.
Get you some hollies.
Okay.
All right. It's been wonderful as always to talk with you, my dear sisters. And it's crazy. Angelique and I live in the same city, and I actually don't physically see her very often. It feels like you are here and you are actually just a few minutes away.
Yeah.
But we are very busy, and COVID is still real. So
hello, because I'm not trying to get her sick, and she ain't trying to get me
stay
sick.
In your house.
Exactly. Because I ain't trying to get her sick, and she ain't trying to get me sick. Ain't no reason to sit here and play games.
We don't play games.
No.
And of course we miss Chantilly all the way in Arkansas, and of course, yeah. And I will be relocating soon, so we will all be in different places. But for now, thank God for technology and the internet, which keeps us feeling near and dear to each other and to all of our listeners. We hope that you have enjoyed tonight's show. And if you haven't seen The School for Good and Evil, well, it's the weekend. What a perfect time to sit down and watch something with your family, with your loved ones. Chantilly has let us know it's time for the winter solstice. So if you want something to watch with your loved ones, with the ones that you have some romance with, or maybe a reason to spark some romance, well, there's a good movie to watch. Maybe that's it, Angelique. Invite somebody to come watch a movie with you.
Okay.
Right there with your chandelier. Sit down with the chandelier.
That's what I'm going to do.
I'm not going to touch that any further. But it is a phenomenal movie, and I watched it by myself though.
Me too.
The person I love lives in another state, so
yeah, he wasn't even playing around.
Watch a lot of movies by myself.
Exactly.
But I did actually, when I went to go visit him, we went to go see Black Adam. I will say that was a very good movie, and we went to go watch it in 3D. And the theater that we went to go see it in was one of the movies theaters that has the reclining seats. And,
okay.
Real special.
I don't know why they do that, because I always go right to sleep.
Well, the good and the bad thing was the theater that we were in. Our seats were way up at the top, which is never my favorite. And I was trying to be really cute, so I was like, I don't climb. And I was like, ooh, my chest hurt, I couldn't breathe. But I kept it cute though, he couldn't tell. But I was so glad when I got to my seat, and he was like, you all right? I was like, and I was so thankful that he volunteered to go get the popcorn and the treats, because Leah
for real,
nowhere else.
For real, no, we done.
So our seats reclined, but they didn't recline like the people that were in rows in front of us. But it was a great movie. It was better than I thought it was going to be. So
I definitely agree with that.
Again. But I'll watch anything with Dwayne in it, though. I mean, it's Dwayne.
I still need to watch it. So, but yeah,
it's Dwayne.
And I ain't gonna lie. Like, that's literally the only reason I wanted to watch it. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, it was not about the lore. Nah, it was because he was in it.
Dwayne. I tell you what made me proud, and I didn't think about it. We talked about it on the after we left, that it was a complete cast of people of color, and that made me very proud. I mean, when you think of all the leading cast for everybody's people of color, and we've come a long way. Because I mean,
we went in those kind of movies.
That wasn't us. It wasn't Black and brown people.
No.
So everybody leading that cast is brown.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't help but be proud when you see that. So it's good though. But having said that, I mean, y'all just drinking and eating and drinking. Well,
look, my throat is dry. It's been 3 hours. Gotta give it a break.
That being said, we have enjoyed you all tonight. Thank you so much for sitting in with us. Next week's review is going to be one of our favorite childhood classics that we grew up with, that our dad introduced us to, which is It's a Wonderful Life. That I can already give you my rating ahead of time. That's a 10 out of 10, baby. But we're going to break that on down and enjoy that and reliving some of our childhood memories. And then at the end of the month, we are going to close out the year on the 30th with Mom and Dad Elijah. It's going to be a family affair, and you will not want to miss that. So that being said, thank you for letting our family be your family. My name is Leah.
My name is Chantilly.
And I'm Angelique.
Thank you once again for letting our family be your family. You have a fabulous night.